would you handle a misbehaving student? Based on my experience, this is how I handle misbehaving student. I emphasize problem solving instead of punishment. I never resort to blame or ridicule. I bring difficult students close to me, talk to them in private. I try to understand, focus more on rewards than punishment. I model the behavior I expect from my students. I ignore or minimize minor problems instead of disrupting the class. What would you choose, family or career? In today's world, it is important that you learn how to balance career and family because when things get out of hand, one or both of these necessary institutions will suffer, leading to failure. If I am in school, I will focus on my work. In my day off and free time, I will make sure to spend every minute of every hour with my family. When with my family, put work aside, share quality time with my partner. What is your teaching competencies? My teaching competencies are interacting well with students, creating a learning environment that is conducive to learning is essential, good at lesson plan design, able to use varied teaching strategies, able to assess, able to identify students' needs, good at communication, able to collaborate with other teachers and school staff, maintaining a professional appearance at all times. This includes dressing appropriately and acting professionally. Make a commitment to education and professional development. What are your experiences as a teacher? My experiences as a teacher, every day was different and exciting. I made learning fun. My students were the coolest people I know. I get to learn from my students. My first year as a teacher was quite challenging. I had to make necessary adjustments in the classroom environment, specifically in terms of materials and teaching strategies to use. I also found challenging to modify and contextualize the lessons to ensure that it would suit the needs of my student. What will be your contribution if you were hired as a public school teacher? My contribution if I am hired as a public school teacher, I can be a mentor to my student with special needs. Besides my responsibility to educate students, I have to play an important role in character development or the shaping of the student's reputation, honor, and integrity. I'm going to motivate and inspire my students to learn, and my greatest goal is to be a role model. I can contribute to the development of a school by doing activities that support the education of the students. What is your teaching philosophy? My teaching philosophy is that students learn best when they feel welcome and comfortable and safe. I believe that the classroom should be safe, caring community where students are free to speak their mind and blossom and grow. I will use strategies to ensure our classroom community will flourish, like the morning meeting, positive discipline, classroom jobs, and problem-solving skills. I believe the classroom is a living community and that everyone from the principal to the students to the parents must contribute in order to maintain a positive atmosphere. Why is competence important to a teacher? Competence is important to a teacher because teacher's competency will give positive effects on students' academic development and skills and help teachers to improve their teaching techniques. Describe your teaching philosophy. My style of teaching is fundamentally centered on class engagement. I adapt my style of teaching in order to involve everyone and make the subject as interesting as possible. What is your reason in applying DepEd? I am a product of a public school. I want to pay back by rendering my service to public school. As a Filipino citizen and as a product of public school ever since I was in kindergarten, elementary, and graduate school, I was a product of public schools. I feel there's something inside me. I feel that there's something inside me that I would like to bring back something to the society. I would like to help the Filipino students. I would like to impart knowledge, and aside from that, I know that being a DepEd teacher gives me more opportunity to help those who are in need. What is an efficient and effective teacher? What is the difference? The difference between an efficient and effective teacher is that an efficient teacher performs all their responsibilities and tasks diligently and in a timely manner. An effective teacher makes sure that the students truly learn and grow. If you will rank attitude, skill, knowledge from first to third according to its importance in the teaching field, how will you arrange it? In my opinion, having a good attitude is the first more important than possessing all the skills for a teaching field. Skills can be taught in training and in classroom environments. Research has shown that your attitude is the most important factor in determining how well you do in life. I will rank first is the attitude, because if you have the right attitude, you will have the willpower to learn in a new skill and a new knowledge. Second is the knowledge. Second is knowledge, of course. If you have a knowledge in doing something, you will have a better capacity of learning edge by transforming edge into your personal skills. Above all, what is important for me is the attitude. If you have the positive attitude towards work, everything will follow. How do you motivate your students to become active learners in your classroom? I will motivate my students to become active learners in my classroom by being extremely encouraging. Sometimes students who appear lazy are actually discouraged or frustrated that they are having trouble learning. My words can be extremely powerful in inspiring them. But more importantly, I can encourage them by giving them one-on-one help and showing them that they can indeed do the work and be successful. Make learning fun. Tell relevant stories and add in some humor. And simply show the students that they can do it. Students enjoy learning when they feel that they are successful. What are your teaching strategies? Based on my experience, I use different teaching strategies such as modeling. After telling my students what to do, I show them exactly how to do it. Cooperative learning. I believe that students learn effectively when they're working together. I planned activities that required students to work together and learn from one another. Experiential learning. Students learn by doing. So, I created experiences for them to see the concepts in action. I let them practice the concepts in a safe environment. Class discussion, inquiry guided instruction. By asking questions and working together to solve the problems, students get to be involved in the learning process. How do you motivate your students to become active learners in your classroom? I motivate my students to become active learners in my classroom by telling them relevant stories and add in some humor and simply show the students that they can do it. I grow a community of learners in my classroom. I believe that students need a classroom environment that is safe, where they are willing to take the risk and struggle. Be inspirational. Most adults can recall a specific teacher from their childhood who had a lasting impact. These are that there are teachers that have inspired, challenged, and motivated students enough to be memorable years later. Tell me about yourself. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Jeneline Baybayan. I am a Bachelor of Secondary Education graduate. I have 22 years experience in teaching. My strengths are I myself motivated. My strengths are I am self-motivated, hardworking, and a disciplined person. I have been teaching at Catechetical Foundation of the Archdiocese of Manila and Novaliches Diocesan Catechetical Foundation Incorporated for 22 years already. I perform as an office assistant and values education teacher or religion teacher. For 22 years in teaching, I was awarded as Outstanding in Performance Appraisal and Best in Teaching Catechesis. I'm very organized and I can work with minimum supervision. I am an enthusiastic person with an optimistic view on life. I love doing my job and it gives me a sense of satisfaction. from seeing my students grow and develop as individuals. I communicate quite effectively in both writing and orally. I have a strong affinity for planning and organizing effectively. What is K to 12 program? K to 12 is an education system under the Department of Education that aims to enhance learners' basic skills, produce more competent citizens, and prepare graduates for lifelong learning and employment, and also globally competent. How would you handle disruptive student? I always try to communicate with them directly and privately to know what the problem might and see if I can fix it.